Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to another episode of News You Missed. I'm back after reviewing Pokemon Legends of Arceus. Sorry about that, I had to dedicate a big amount of time to that game review. If you're interested in that, you can check into that. But today we have many stories covering a lot of Nintendo topics. We have some news coming from Capcom, Platinum Games, and several other third parties, as well as Xbox. So if that sounds good to you, let's jump right in. Before we start the news, I wanted to say that I do have side channels. One where I upload The Bible Explained, where I use my master's degree in theology to dive deep into the Bible itself and talk about those things. And the other is Poke Stuff, where I post all of my Pokemon content and Pokemon theories. So if you're interested in that, make sure to check those out. Now on with the news, we're going to jump right into Markiplier, where he wanted to talk about the Pokemon that he would smash or pass. This being a meme and a complete joke still doesn't remove how weird it is that an adult male of such an age would be interested in making a video about what Pokemon he would smash. We're gonna move right along. Speaking of Pokemon Legends, data miners have found an unused room. This is interesting. This is unique. I think that this is going to be used for DLC in the future. Some people have speculated that the intro of the game wouldn't be so flippant and you were supposed to start in this room and then go back in time, which kind of would make more sense. But regardless, here's an unused room. It looks like the player's home room wherever they live before they go on an adventure. I got a PSA for you folks in Legends of Arceus. Do not catch CRESSELIA before talking to MELI. This will soft lock the game because it will not trigger the sequenced events to allow you to progress to complete the second portion of the game. So please make sure to talk to MELI before you take on CRESSELIA in the arena. There's going to be about 1,000 digital-only games that are going to disappear for good when Nintendo closes its 3DS and Wii U stores. This is very, very bad for gamers, but there's 2 points that need to be raised. Many of the games that are going away still have physical copies that you can purchase on eBay. Though the developers don't get a penny for it because they've been discontinued, it would be nice if they had just moved this store over to the Nintendo Switch side of things. They did not. They believe that the Nintendo Switch Online will continue to provide all of the games. However, I would like to note that there are many game systems that are not on Nintendo Switch Online. For example, the Nintendo 64, some of the Wii games and GameCube games, as well as the Nintendo DS, and I'm fairly certain that they're not going to be introduced, along with other systems like the TurboGrafx, the Game Boy Advance. Many Sega games still aren't on there, so it's really, really bad. The other point that is raised in this argument is who's bought from the eShop recently. Some people say, oh yeah, I picked up these games because I didn't want to pay those eBay fees, right? And that makes sense. What I would like to say and what I would like to suggest is that I don't promote piracy, but if you can no longer purchase the games, you're not depriving a developer of their money. I suppose emulation's the only method now, right? I'm not a lawyer. I'm not going to legally advise you, but all I'm saying is the only way to play these games is through emulation. And so that presents the idea that modding Wii U's and modding 3DS's, it really doesn't matter anymore, does it? Because there's no other way to purchase these games once the eShop closes. But I digress. We're gonna move along. Metroid art pops up for Retro Studios' Twitter profile. It's just a corridor that leads down to Samus in her iconic Varia suit, or at least the shadow outline looks like that, which means once again they're working on Metroid Prime 4. This is what they do, you know what I mean? But I think that we're going to get a Metroid Prime trilogy. I'm not a Nintendo insider. I never claimed to be an insider, but I just feel like a Metroid Prime trilogy is going to come. This is something that's going to eventually happen. Moving along, the Nintendo Switch Sports online playtest sign-up was for the weekend. It lasted from February 18th to February 20th. I want to point out one of the times was 3 a.m., but it was there, so there you go. I think that's pretty cool. I hope that they use these tests to stabilize the game, especially the online play elements. Fake Nintendo Insider fooled thousands with phony predictions. I don't even know who this guy is, but apparently he was throwing out fake predictions. In the future, if you see somebody saying, you know, oh, I'm an insider. Just don't believe him. A video game reseller has discovered hundreds of factory-sealed Nintendo and Sega games from the 80s and 90s inside a storage facility in Nebraska. This isn't fake. You can check into it. It's really, really cool, and hopefully they will be going up on eBay and reselling sites so that we can purchase them in the future. Hey, maybe the eShop being closed isn't such a bad thing, because now we can actually purchase real sealed games. Wow, there's an idea. The Crunchyroll app is now available on the Nintendo eShop. If you guys are interested in Crunchyroll, that's something that you can get into, and with it being on the go, that's really, really nice. You can just take your Switch up to your room if your family's bothering you, you know what I mean? Halo Infinite, community goes nuts over leaked Forge mode. Yeah, Halo Infinite's been lacking lately. It blew up pretty good for about maybe a month or so, and then it's died down. I've rarely heard anything about it, and Forge mode would be really, really nice for the game. It would keep it interesting, and hopefully it does actually happen. So there was this pro gamer that was fired after saying short men don't have human rights. That's Kotaku, that's their headline, but somebody actually compiled a list, and I'm gonna read some of the list off for you here of some things that they've said. Let's begin. If you don't have 170 centimeters, please live while thinking I have no human rights. A cup is not qualified to live. I don't think a man living at home is the same person. Bald is bald because he did something bad in previous life. LGBT is a group of mentally ill people with big voices. Depression and blacks can be cured by throwing away sweetness. The theory of sexuality is too unique. A lot of these remarks make me kind of question this list being compiled and the person maybe translating, or maybe they just couldn't write well. But regardless, you can see some of the remarks would definitely get you fired immediately, especially if you're saying them in public. So Kotaku, no, she didn't just say short men don't have human rights, she said a lot of other things. So once again, journalism goes a little bit further, Kotaku, than just taking one big headline and reposting a story, okay? ATLUS has just announced Soul Hackers 2 on a live stream. A lot of people are saying this is a joke, right? Like, this is a joke, because nobody cares about Soul Hackers. But, you know, it is what it is, so if you're interested in that, that's a new game that's going to be coming out. A lawyer has criticized PlayStation for what he believes to be deceptive marketing practices surrounding Horizon Forbidden West's free PS5 upgrade offer. If you guys want to check into that, you can. However, I've also heard stories of many people buying the PS5 version outright instead of the PS4 version and taking the upgrade route, which, you know, I don't know. Could someone sue for something? Sure, I'm sure. Would they win? Who knows? Platinum Games says NFTs have no positive impact on creators or users in any sense, and if it smells like money, Konami's gonna be there in a heartbeat. Which, this story came out after Konami, like almost 2 to 3 weeks after Konami had already announced their NFT initiative, so they were right, and I agree with them wholeheartedly. EA executives blame Halo and COVID for Battlefield 2042's failures. That's hilarious. Okay, so let me get this straight. You can't go anywhere because you're on lockdown, you're afraid of getting a virus that is highly contagious, and so you are stuck inside playing video games, and you're going to say that that somehow impacted people from being able to play. You can download it on the PlayStation, on the Xbox network, you can get online and you can get all sorts of codes. You can buy it from Amazon, eBay, you can ship it straight to your house from the vendors, GameStop, and somehow COVID impacted the success. I mean, it's not because the game's completely broken. I mean, my God. And then blaming Halo? If Halo's a better game, yeah, absolutely. That's a great excuse. Halo is a better game. Halo is better than Battlefield 2042. At least you accept it and can grow from it, right? But no, we're gonna blame COVID too. Utterly insane. We all make choices, but in the end, our choices make us. Netflix and Bioshock. Would you kindly stay tuned? Capcom Fighting Collection brings together 10 classic fighters with online rollback netcode. 2022, you're gonna have Darkstalkers, Super Gem Fighter, Mini Mix, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, Red Earth, and more. There's a lot of series coming to this, so if you're a big fighting game fan, you will probably be happy. That's it for the news you missed. I want to take a moment to thank all my patrons for supporting me. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys keep this show going. You give me a reason to continue doing the news every week, and I want to invite you to subscribe. If you haven't already subscribed, why not? What's stopping you? You get some free news to listen to on the ride into work, and you get it to keep caught up with all the video game news. It gives you topics to talk to people about, so consider joining the Maverick Rebellion. Make sure to like and share the video, and I will see you guys in the next one.